You won't believe the audacity of some people. The other day, my neighbor, let's call her Karen, knocks on my door. I open it, and she's standing there with this expectant look on her face. Before I can even say hello, she goes, "I need your Wi-Fi password." I was a little taken aback. I just stared at her for a second, thinking maybe I misheard. But no, she repeated it. "Your Wi-Fi password." "What is it?" I tried to be as polite as possible. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm not really comfortable sharing my private network with others." I figured that was a reasonable boundary, right? It's my internet. I pay for it, and it's connected to all my personal devices. Sharing the password just isn't something I do. Well, you would have thought I'd just told her the world was ending. Her face twisted up, and she huffed. "Fine, be that way," before storming off my porch. I just shook my head and closed the door, thinking that was the end of it. Oh, how wrong I was. That was just the beginning of her ridiculous crusade. The very next day, I was walking past the community bulletin board in our neighborhood clubhouse, and something caught my eye. It was a large, handwritten note, tacked right in the middle for everyone to see. And guess who it was from? Yep, Karen. The note was an absolute masterpiece of entitlement. It read, and I'm paraphrasing here, "To my selfish neighbor in Unit 1 to be, that's me, by the way, who is hoarding community resources. Wi-Fi should be a shared utility for everyone. Your refusal to share is unneighborly and goes against the spirit of our community." She was trying to publicly shame me for not giving her free internet. I couldn't believe it. Hoarding resources. "It's my Wi-Fi, not the community water well." She went on to suggest that I was being greedy, and that in a truly caring neighborhood, people would share everything, including their internet access. She even ended the note by asking other neighbors to talk some sense into me. I was furious, but also kind of morbidly curious to see how this would play out. She had just declared war over a Wi-Fi password, and she chose to do it in the most public way possible. I decided to just wait and see what would happen. I had a feeling her plan wasn't going to work out the way she'd hoped. She clearly underestimated the common sense of our other neighbors. Her little public shaming attempt backfired spectacularly. I went back to the bulletin board a couple of hours later, and something amazing had started to happen. People were writing replies on little sticky notes and tacking them all around her original message. The first one I saw was brilliant. It just said, "Are you going to pay their bill then?" Simple, direct, and to the point. Another one was posted right below it, saying, "My electricity is a utility too. Can I plug my extension cord into your outlet?" The sarcasm was just beautiful. It was clear that nobody was buying her nonsense about Wi-Fi being a community resource. Over the course of the day, the bulletin board turned into a wall of support for me and a takedown of her entitlement. Someone wrote, "I'm not paying your bills, so why should they pay for your internet?" Another person added, "This is the most entitled thing I've ever seen. Get your own internet." My personal favorite was a note that said, "Hoarding resources. Lady, it's Netflix. Not life-saving medicine. Calm down." It was like the entire neighborhood collectively rolled their eyes at her. The board was covered in little notes, all echoing the same sentiment. You want to get to demand things from your neighbors just because you want them for free. Karen's attempt to paint me as the villain had made her the laughingstock of the entire community. But the final nail in the coffin came from the HO. Karen, in her infinite wisdom, had apparently complained to them as well, probably expecting them to march over to my door and force me to hand over the password. Instead, they did something much, much better. A day later, an official notice from the HOA was posted right next to her now infamous note. It was a general reminder to all residents. It stated very clearly that personal Wi-Fi networks are the private property and financial responsibility of the individual resident. It went on to say that while neighbors are encouraged to be friendly, no one is obligated to share personal services they pay for. It was a professional, polite, and absolutely devastating shutdown of her entire argument. The best part? The best. After that HOA notice went up, Karen's original note mysteriously disappeared. And so did she. I swear, she didn't leave her apartment for a solid week. I'd see her car in the parking lot, but she was nowhere to be found. No more angry glares. No more stomping around. just silence. The embarrassment must have been overwhelming. The entire neighborhood had witnessed her public meltdown and unanimously sided against her. It just goes to show you that sometimes, when you try to start drama, it comes back to bite you in the most satisfying way possible. And my Wi-Fi network has remained safe, secure, and password protected ever since. Have you ever had a neighbor with a crazy sense of entitlement? Let me know your stories in the comments below. I'd love to read them. It's always comforting to know you're not alone in dealing with these kinds of situations. It's wild what some people think they're owed. Anyway, thanks for listening to my story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. It really helps the channel out. See you in the next one.